Yeah, man. Rest in heaven to Trey Reed. The young black man that was found in what city was that? Let's see. I don't want to get the wrong city. Okay. This from NBC News. We can go over it together, actually.
You feel unsafe. I do have to walk to class.
Authorities say the body of 21-year-old Dematravion Trey Reed was found hanged from a tree by a faculty member near the pickleball courts. Word spread quickly throughout the Cleveland campus, leaving students and others concerned and worried.
Well, because I am a black student, hearing that happened to another black student, it really made me feel it's make me feel unsafe. I do have to walk to class, and I like to go walk on the track, and it would be happy to know like what happened.
Local and state investigators immediately started looking into the incident. DSU Police Chief Michael Peeler says investigators found no evidence of foul play.
It's sad too, when we see these incidents happen. It's always a melanated person. It's always a man made in God's image. This black police officer, man. Like, black people, stop being police officers, man. You are not blue. Soon as you do some bullshit, you're gonna find out you black. That's the tripped out part about it. All this crazy shit going on, you always see some black dude with a badge. And they love to put them on the mic when some shit happen to our people to make it look like, oh, look, we got a black police officer. So it couldn't have been nothing, no foul play. And they always say the political correct shit. They got them all here in Detroit. They got them all over. Everywhere I see some shit happening with our people. Here, look at this shit. This motherfucker. Fucking monkey.
But
look at this shit.
Pending an investigation, further investigation, and also from the medical examiner's office, we won't have more information until that part has been done.
And members of Reed's family are insisting on a thorough investigation.
If I'm the chief of police, I wouldn't even be talking. I'd be finding out. I'd be on the low. But you know what? Maybe that is what he doing. Let me stop. He probably, you know what I mean? He probably on some incognito shit. Incognito shit. And
please do your research on this. Do not let them sweep nothing else under the rug. Enough is enough.
University President Daniel Enos says the discovery left him heartbroken as he extended his condolences to Reed's family and friends. He added DSU would help students, faculty, and staff with the grief.
His lyrics. Sad, man. So yeah, let's find out where he from. His real name is Dematravion. Reed's death has ignited calls for justice and online speculation that he was the victim of a lynching, even though authorities have said there was no evidence of foul play. So you know what? I just thought of something. Yeah, they supposed to say that there's no evidence of foul play to throw off the people that may be responsible for the shit. They supposed to say that there's no foul play. They're not supposed to say. They're supposed to make people think that, you know, they not finna tell everybody they're investigating this shit. Mtume. Man, that's a powerful name, boy. See, he echoed other officials' comments and said a preliminary examination showed no evidence that Reed was physically attacked. More details will be released after the Mississippi State Crime Lab conducts an autopsy, Seal said. They said they believe their loved ones were victims of. Okay, let's start from the top. At Delta State University on Wednesday, there were few signs of a tragedy that befell the campus this week and disrupted the beginning of a school year. Welcome back banners from the Chamber of Commerce and the campaign signs for students running for homecoming court were staked in the grass. Students have been back on campus just shy of a month when the body of DeMar Trey Reed, a 21-year-old black student, was found hanging from a tree on campus Monday. Reed's death has ignited calls for justice and online speculation that he was a victim of a lynching, even though authorities have said there was no evidence of foul play. Families of other black men who have been found hanging in Mississippi and were determined to have died by suicide are also questioning their official causes of death. They said they believe their loved ones were victims of lynchings in the state with a history of racially motivated violence, including the 1955 lynching of 14-year-old Emmett Till. Reed's family has not publicly commented on his death except through attorneys. Mira Brown, who was on campus Wednesday to visit her younger sister, who recently transferred to Delta State, says she understands the feeling people are having about Reed's death. Just given the historical significance of trees, black men, and ropes, there's just something about it that isn't right. Bolivar County Coroner Randolph Seals Jr. said in a statement Wednesday that his office is conducting a thorough death investigation. He echoed other official comments and said a preliminary examination showed no evidence that Reed was physically attacked. More details will be released after the Mississippi State Crime Lab conducts an autopsy, Seal said. At the campus, Kobe Horace, 21, a senior studying sports management, said he did not know what to believe. I just want justice. I don't know what it is, but I want the truth to come out, he said. I just want to know what the real answer is. Mtume Matthews, 20, and Jaquan Wallace, 20, the president and vice president, respectively, of the university's African American Student Council, said they had discussed organizing a vigil for Reed amid calls by students for more information. Look at that young man. That don't look like nobody that want to harm themselves. I'm sorry. Wallace said he has been thinking about Reed's family and other students he would see with Reed on campus. Everybody's trying to cope a little differently and trying to get through it, Wallace said. We're also trying to move in a way where we acknowledge the fact that he was a student, that he was another one of us. Wallace said he understood the school leaders might be limited in what information they can release, but acknowledged that some classmates are frustrated. It's just that we really want answers, Matthews added. That's why a lot of people are fearful in this moment. Brown recalled checking his younger sister's location Monday night and feeling at peace. My last thought before going to sleep was college is one place where you're supposed to feel like your children are safe. And then I woke up to the news. Brown, who is from Mississippi Delta, said cooperate with Reed's family in releasing the autopsy results to confirm or deny the reports. Rumors are steps she thinks officials should take. Ultimately, she said, she suspects people may not feel settled with the authorities' findings until they hear from the family. But that's the only thing that's going to supersede what the suspicions are now. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump said Tuesday that Reed's family had retained him and that His family and the campus community deserve a full independent investigation to uncover the truth about what happened. He did not identify the family members who hired him. Trey was a young man full of promise and warmth, deeply loved and respected by all who knew him, Crump said on social media. We cannot accept vague conclusions when so many questions remain. Attorney Vanessa Jones said at a news conference Tuesday that she had also been retained by Reed's family. It was unclear whether she represented the same family members who retained Crump as their attorney. Jones said she would launch an independent investigation into Reed's death and demanded transparency from officials. The family does not know exactly what happened on September 15th, 2025. She said, we are seeking answers. It said, if you or someone you know is in crisis, call 988. Man, this shit's so damn sickening. Man, this shit's so fucking sickening, man. This young man did not kill himself. And what's even sicker than that is that his family and friends, other black people, his classmates, other black people, like myself, we feel fear. Historically, we have felt fear. This country has been built on instilling fear in my people. So this is nothing new. Like them students said, man, it's so frustrating, especially when you look in the mirror and you love everything about yourself and you say, man, look at me. Like I'm beautiful, right? And we go outside. The only place we feel good is inside when we in the house for the most part. Soon as we step outside the door, we know what's waiting on us. A bunch of hate from our own kind, our own confused people. And we get outside of our community, a bunch of racist ass, hateful ass white folks, racist ass, hateful ass Mexicans, racist ass, hateful ass Asians. Everybody. Nobody likes us. When they say nobody likes Chris, they really meant nobody likes blacks. That's really what that's how I always interpreted that. So it's sad, man, that especially when you know the facts about who you are and you got this melanin, you know that without you, there wouldn't be no other people. So it's like the people that should be applauded, that should be celebrated the most, are hated the most. But it just all like I said earlier, I don't take everything from the Bible. Like I'm not a Bible head, but there's certain things in the Bible that's true. There's certain things in the Bible that's true. The most important people will be looked at as the least, and the ones that's doing the worst things will be looked up as the best people. And that's just how this world is. The greatest will be looked at as the least. The ones that's doing the worst will be looked at as the best. And that's just how it is, man. So we know that history is on our side too. Trying to hurt us only gonna help us. In this country, we don't want to go to war with white people. We never have. But that ain't to say it ain't some mentally like people that's a little different and smart at the same time that know how to use technology. Like for instance, if that was my son, I'm gonna keep it real. I wouldn't even be online. I wouldn't even be talking. I wouldn't have no Crump as my attorney. I wouldn't be trying to go by this the legal way. I have a degree in software. I know how to use technology. That's all I can say, man, right now. The police shoot one of my sons, I'm not going to be marching. Yeah, I'm not going to be marching. I don't care if he or she keep their job. They can keep their job all they want. Yeah, and I ain't talking about hurting no police officer. That's all I can say. You know, that's all I can say about that. But yeah, I really try to love people, and the key word is try. You know, because when you try, you don't always succeed. You know what I mean? So, and there's a whole lot of us that's trying to love everybody, including racist white people. We trying. We really trying. You know, but it's so crazy that racist white people are mad at black people when y'all should be mad at your ancestors. Yeah, your very ancestors that created this. You know, we trying to get in tune with our ancestors. I'm trying to get in tune with my ancestors so I can find out who possibly sold, you know what I'm saying, my direct ancestors. I want to go back to Africa to find that tribe that may have sold my people into slavery. So I'm getting in tune with that. But you racist white people that inherited slavery, like the slave owner side of slavery, y'all should be mad at y'all racist slave owning ancestors, not black people. I don't know why y'all mad at us. We didn't do nothing to y'all either. But y'all want to take everything out on us. When anytime we bring up racism, we really talking about y'all ancestors and how y'all behave towards us. But we supposed to call it out. I don't care if y'all do got us outnumbered. We gonna call out bullshit because we ain't never been scared. You know, we fearful, but we only fearful of like our children, you know, the things our children got to endure. You know, we're not necessarily fearful in the sense of like afraid, you know what I'm saying? It's just, man, like to know that, you know, in this world we live in, to know that your son, daughter could be in college trying to get an education, trying to be the best version of themselves. And then you wake up to a phone call that your dang on child and then got lynched because some crazy folk mad about Charlie Kirk. Like that, make that make sense, man. Shit is crazy, man. Let's see what Charlie Kirk had to say about lynching.
Championship, and these people are sick, and I don't say that lightly. The NCAA is a perverted organization. They platformed a biological male who won a national championship and then was allowed in incredibly disturbing detail to be around you and your fellow competitors. And again, I blame the decline of American men. This never should have been, someone should have just took care of it the way we used to take care of things in the 1950s or 60s. But, as you have testosterone rates go down and men start acting like women and they don't do anything, then, hey, who's to say? You're going to look, there are a lot of sick people in the world, unfortunately.
Man, they really idolize the 50s and 60s, don't they? Like I said, the 50s and 60s was only the 50s and 60s because it was no other country in position to even compete with the US at the time. This country was not great back then. This country was just the only country in the position to be in the position it was in. Since then, everybody else has rebuilt. Now this country is last in every goddamn thing. So yeah, the fuck out of here. That 50s and 60s shit. Y'all love that time frame. That's why I can't even stand looking at houses that look like they belong in the 50s and 60s, going into these downtowns of small town America. I can't stand small town America. Shit remind me of some racist bullshit. What it remind me of. Shit. Trying to find.
These people are sick, and I don't say that lightly. The NCAA.
Yeah, I'm not seeing what I'm looking for. Nobody's talking about this shit. I'm the only one talking about it. I'm the only one talking about it. Wow. That's crazy. I'm the only one talking about this shit. Nobody else talking about it, huh? Wow. Yeah, let's look at this then.
Two men found hanging from trees in.
Yeah, they're talking about it. They talking about it.
Mississippi on the same day. Two men found hanging from trees in Mississippi on the same day. The two men, both found deceased hanging from trees in Mississippi on the same day, Trey Reed and Corey Zukatis. There you see the photos of them, the victims. Here's what we know, folks. The initial tragedy hit at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi. About 7:05 a.m., campus police found the body of 21-year-old university student Trevion Trey Reed hanging from a tree by the pickleball courts. The report confirmed by University Police Chief Michael L. Peeler in a press conference stating no evidence of foul play had been discovered to this point. The body of Reed was turned over to the Bolivar County Coroner's Office, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, and other authorities to aid in the investigation. Hours later, again, now another victim recovered off Vicksburg Casino, the trail there. Hours earlier, 1:30 p.m., police in Vicksburg received an alarming telephone call. The body of a male discovered hanging from a tree in a densely forested area off of the Amistar Casino. The coroner identified the deceased as Brandon White, male, Corey Zukatis, 36. Zucatus, homeless, his death confirmed by Warren County Coroner Doug L. Husky, who said Zucatus had been discovered about 10:30 a.m., but released no further information. Now, little is to be learned about Zucatus's latter days or the circumstances surrounding.
Man, this shit's so painful. This is why most Black people, they don't even want to talk. We don't even mostly want to talk about this shit. This shit's so painful. It's so painful, man. Like, it's so painful. It's so painful. But this time it's going to be different. Mark my word. Mark my word. Now we got the Missouri senator coming out, letting it be known he want this country all for white people. Like, you know, this generation is not hiding. They don't know how to hide. They want to come out. So basically, they're about to make sure that we can get our reparations, because by them behaving like this and by crimes being committed, putting ice out on people, that's going to ensure that we can say that we got some state sanctioned violence. They ain't going to be able to hide from that. They ain't going to be able to hide from it. If they were smart, they would have did what their ancestors did and kept the KKK mask on. If they were smart, they would have kept the KKK mask on. But this generation not too smart. As you know, it's like Idiocracy, that movie. As we go further, the generations get dumber and dumber and dumber. That movie was not a movie. That was reality. That really happened. We got some real dumb people in this world right now. And they're getting dumber and dumber and dumber. So, yeah, that's what's going on, man. Reparations on the way, baby. Reparations is on the way. Trump and his whole regime is about to ensure that we get our reparations. But yeah, talking about these lynchings is so painful. That's why most of us never want to talk about it. All right, where we at now?
In his death, no evidence indicating foul play has yet been released by authorities, but the circumstantial resemblance to Reed's death, namely both men suspended from trees in the state of Mississippi within several hours of one another, that has the nation in an uproar, buzzing about it at least, even though we have not seen much coverage of this elsewhere, have we? So it goes. There's more. Attorney Vanessa J. Jones of Jones Law Firm in Hattiesburg said the firm is representing Reed's family and is initiating its own investigation into his death, and they will pursue an independent autopsy. Vanessa Jones criticized Delta State University and Bolivar County officials, telling the Mississippi Free Press that both had left the Reed family completely in the dark after the discovery of Trey Reed's body, failing to properly communicate with them in their darkest moment. The media, the lawyer said, knew about Trey's death before the family did. That's one of the reasons for the urgency at this press conference, Joe.
See, as much as this new white generation is emboldened, the new black generation is emboldened as well. Trust me. Trust me. We don't think like our ancestors do. We think reverse. Just like y'all think reverse. We think reverse lynchings. Yeah. We think reverse slavery. Yeah, that's how we think. We think reverse everything. That y'all be thinking like reverse racism and all that shit. Like we being raised like that's even possible. Like this little 13% of people can affect not 60-something% of people. Like that's even possible. But yeah, we think reverse lynchings. Yeah, that's how we think. We think reverse slavery, reverse lynchings. Yeah, we wanted to see some reverse slavery when Obama got in there. Yeah, we did. And now that this is lynching shit going on, oh yeah, that's what we think about, some reverse motherfucking lynchings. You goddamn right. Shit, that's all we thinking about. We ain't thinking about no crying and marching and shit. Hell no, we thinking about some reverse. Everything that y'all, we think the same way, but we think it in our way. We're not thinking reverse racism. We want a law change. We want a day for our hero, our wicked hero. We want to reverse Martin Luther King Day. You know what I'm saying? No, we thinking reverse lynchings. Y'all don't gotta put this on the news. It's okay. That's why ain't too many, a lot of our people, they quiet too. You know why? Yeah, they thinking about doing some reverse lynching, some reverse bullshit. Yeah, y'all want to be on bullshit? Our people thinking about doing reverse bullshit. Trust me.
Jones continued, because the family is getting all of their information secondhand through the news. And a confusing incident occurred the morning of Trey's death, she said. The Grenada County Sheriff's Department arrived at Trey's.
I grew up hearing about Emmett Till. That was one of the first stories that I can remember as a young boy. Imagine being 7, 8 years old and hearing about a young boy around your age, not too much older, that looked just like you, being hung basically for nothing. Like, it ain't no reason to hang nobody in the first place. But yeah, a young boy hung because that's when I found out how wicked white women were. White women are the mothers of white men. White women are more wicked than white men. White women hate black people on a level that white men basically just get the surface level hate that white women have. White women have deep-seated hate, and they manipulate their men into hating us. All for what? The same thing everybody online for: attention. Yeah. The hate that white women have for black people is all for the attention of her white man. That's what it's all for. So, it's on another level. That's what I'm saying. Like, that hate is on another level. When people will do anything for attention. So that Emmett Till murder was basically a white woman trying to get attention from her white men in her life. You know what I mean? She used Emmett Till to get attention. Most of the race riots that happened was behind a white lady lying on some black dude. When in actuality, she probably wanted him sexually, but used them to get that attention from the white man that she wants. That's what she yearned for, that attention from that white man. And it all go back to childhood. That's what most of us suffering from when we get grown, is the attention from our parents that we didn't get, being deficit of attention as a kid. That's what most of us dealing with when we grown. We dealing with the lack of attention that we may not have gotten from the people that are supposed to love us first, which is usually our mother and father. You know what I'm saying? So that's what always happened. It just so happened white people in America was always in a position of power of black people. So they could always use us as the ones to get that attention from it. It ain't hard to see. It's like, we black. We got this melanin, baby. Like, we always gonna be right front and center of the attention, as far as the ones that you can get to blame things on, the scapegoat. We always gonna be the scapegoat. You know what I'm saying? So that's never been debated. So yeah, let's finish this video, man.
Family's home at approximately 9:15. Informed the family that Trey was found dead in his dorm room in his bed, she said. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump announced Tuesday he has been retained by the student's family. He will undertake an independent investigation into the death. Well, you are needed.
Hold up now. What
He said the Grenada County Sheriff's Department arrived at Trey's family's home at approximately 9:15. Informed the family that Trey was found dead in his dorm room in his bed, she said. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump announced Tuesday he has been retained by the student.
You mean to tell me the fucking police department said he was found in the bed and he was fucking lynched? They probably did it. The fucking police lynched him. God damn. So you see, and that's what I'm saying. Like, how my mind think, it's easy to do a search of who the police is down there. Quick, easy. You know what I mean? Reverse lynch. That's how my mind think. You know what I mean? If that's my son, hey man, hey, we're gonna play it the same way. We don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to him. He killed himself. Same shit. You know, killed himself. No foul play. He did that to himself. We found him in the bed. Damn, that's fucked up. The fucking police lied. Look at this shit again.
Found dead in his dorm room in his bed, she said. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump announced Tuesday he has been retained by the student's family. He will undertake an independent investigation into the death. Well, you are needed more now than ever, Mr. Crump. We cannot accept vague conclusions when so many questions remain, Crump said in a statement. I stand with his family, and I will lead a team of civil rights leaders and organizations in pursuing transparency and answers. Meanwhile, U.S. Representative Benny Thompson, Mississippi Democrat, called for the FBI to investigate that from the Associated Press. This is a bizarre one, right?
The FBI? The FBI worse than them at this point. You know what I mean? Like, that's why, like, we need a reverse KKK. Yeah, a reverse KKK. Yeah. We need a reverse KKK. A reverse one. Black hoods and all. Black hoods and all. Yeah. Everything reverse. Black hoods. Yep. Same thing. Yep. We need a reverse KKK. Ack. Like, say it like that too. Ack. That's reverse KKK. Ack. Yeah, that's what we need. We need to create the ack. Yeah. A bunch of black hooded reverse terrorists. Yeah, everything reverse, right? We need some reverse terrorists to protect our people when shit like this happen. Period. That's what we need. Fuck all this calling, getting the FBI. Fuck the FBI. The motherfuckers worse than the motherfucking police departments at this point, and always have been.
Immediately, what comes to mind? Mississippi. A young black man hanging.
Yeah.
Right there. I know what's going through my mind.
And this is why I don't really necessarily agree with a lot of our people, because they don't know who they are. We God. We ain't black. We God. Say that. Whatever her name is, say that. Whatever her name is. I don't know her name, but say that. She don't even know what I just said. She's made in God's image. We God in the flesh. Period. We the first people. Everybody came from Africa. Everybody black. Yeah, everybody black. Quit feeling like you a goddamn victim. We ain't no victims. We the victors. Without us, it wouldn't be no life.
The circumstance that there's another incident, a unhoused person hanging. Those details perhaps will never be learned, but I put faith in Crump, the investigators. Unfortunately, they have much experience at this kind of thing, uncovering details in these kinds of bizarre circumstances. So it's good. Attorney Crump, Ben Crump, and his team are on the case. But it's the other part too that Attorney Jones talked about, the aftermath. I cannot imagine what this family, the Reed family, is going through. No relation. You have a young man who is in college. Suddenly, you find out.
Yeah, you see how she said no relation. We are related. See, this is time for people to start understanding the connectivity that we all got. And I'm talking about all people, everybody black. This is the time where we need to all say, well, you know what? We all came from the same place. We all come from Africa. We all started off as black. Yeah, let's start there. Since we the most hated, we all need to find the most love out of what being black is. And that love is inside every human being because everybody is black. But see, this lady, oh, no relation. Yeah, no relation. Yeah. This is why a lot of the energy within our community is off. You know what I'm saying? Even with the so-called pro-black, the pro-black of us, the pro-black of us, we more than black. We ain't just black. Let's be more than black, man.
Secondhand.
We God.
It's just heartless enough that he's gone. Then you learn more bizarre details. And yet, law enforcement shows up at your house and has it all figured out. He died in his dorm room bed.
Be pissing me off because, our so-called black people, they think they can fucking talk proper. And, oh, yeah, look. Yeah, man, I get so sick of these motherfuckers talking proper. Man, that's what that right there for me, it tells me you out of the loop, because it like within our community, we got so much division, we got so much complexionism, we got so much self-hate. And I can look at this lady right here and tell she probably part of it. She'd probably look at me like I'm a piece of shit, make me feel like I ain't shit. If I met her, she wouldn't address me as God, just like, like I said, I am.
He wasn't hanging from a tree. Folks, what would you believe? I know what I wouldn't believe. Anything that came out of law enforcement's mouth. You could say, well, that's harsh. They're figuring it out. The accidents happen. People misspeak. Not that much. And yes, they're figuring it out. But how much faith is a family supposed to have? How much faith is a family supposed to have when you show up at their doorstep and you don't even have the place of death? You have the body, but you don't even have the place of death, correct? You don't even have the part about inside or outside, correct?
Yeah.
It's hard to stomach, but here we are. And a private autopsy is necessary, a private investigative team, and a famed civil rights attorney are your best shot of figuring out what happened to another young black man. It could be nothing. Maybe it's not foul play, but Mississippi, history that we do know about, it's not been erased. There's more here, obviously. Wow.
Man, it's crazy.
Indisputable. We'll keep following the story. And like I said, my faith is in Crump. We'll have to.
No, my faith is in God. We God, man. Y'all know my faith ain't in no Crump, man. Yeah, I pray for him, man. He a target. You know what I'm saying? Crump is a target. My faith is not in no Crump. No, he ain't gonna live forever. No, we can't put no faith in no people, man. We got to put all the faith in God. And when I say that, I'm talking about that God that's within each and every last one of us. We are walking manifestations of God. So yeah, man, I just thought of something, man. My stepson about to move to the South. And man, I'm gonna have to talk to him right now at this present moment. This is a real dangerous time. My brother live in the South already. My whole family, you know, we got a house in the South and a house in the North. So we got a house in Louisiana and we got a house in Michigan. So, you know, we got both sides. So we really from the North and South equally. Two of my brothers was raised in the South, and me and my older brother was raised in the North. And we got the same mother and father. You know what I'm saying? My parents moved to the South when I was 19 years old, and I never left. I stayed up north in Flint. So I understand the South. You know, the South has always been wicked towards my little brothers when they was down there in Louisiana growing up. You know, they got one of my nephews in prison now. He got railroaded. Louisiana is not the whole South, Texas, everything along that water, the Gulf, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Florida, all them states that's around the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America. That's what he call it now. Some wicked states, man. Some wicked states. And that's where the majority of a lot of the slave plantations used to be. So a lot of that ideology is down there, man. And right now is a real scary time to be in Texas, to be in Louisiana, to be in Alabama, to be in Mississippi, and to be in Florida right now. It's real scary for black people. It's been scary though. So like most people that's down there, they don't see nothing different, you know. But us from the outside looking in, we got different optics on it. So like that's why we see it a lot different up north. They can't really see what we able to see, you know what I'm saying, down there right now. They too far into it, you know. That's where they from, you know, they just embrace it, you know. But either way, I'm not worried about, you know, my stepson, but I'm just, you know, definitely let him know to stay tapped in, stay aware, keep his head on the swivel, and protect yourself by any means. And like I said, if it get ugly, I'm personally gonna be on some reverse shit. You know, if anything happened to him, I'm gonna be on some reverse shit. Y'all won't see me marching. Don't march. Ain't no marching. I don't want to do no motherfucking marching. I ain't finna be doing no talking. I'm being proactive now by speaking on it and speaking on it with power and letting it be known that I understand that God that's in me, that I know that's in everybody else, you know. So if you in a situation, you in a state where people letting the worst version of themselves get the best version of themselves, and they want to harm you based on how you look. I mean, like all I say, man, like police officers, especially, like really anybody at this point, because you know, white people think they the police too. They want to act like they the motherfucking police every chance they get. It's crazy, man. But look, y'all stay tapped in, stay aware. I'm out this joint. I'm about to get out and enjoy myself tonight. My stepson, he gonna have a little get together. I'm out, about to have fun. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend. I'll be back though. I'll be back this weekend. I'll be back with a bunch of shit. I'll be back. Thank y'all for all the viewers that tapped in. All right. Good night.